there always isn't any sound
Damn it.
because I always forget to unmute everyone. Hey, let's do that again. My name is Simon at wondering_DM on Twitter. And this is our group for MistVeil, a Zweihander campaign. So like I said earlier, I got the book, kickstarted it a while back when I heard about it on the Strike the Stun forum, and we were all eager to play it. I mean, I've read the book twice so far. I've never, I made a character, but I've never DM'd an actual game. So this is going to be my first one. We're going to play in a custom homebrewed setting called MistVeil. Super corny name, but I couldn't think of anything else. I'll talk about the setting a bit in a few moments, but first I want to introduce our wonderful cast of player for the next couple of weeks. Let's begin with to my, let's say, upper this side, which would be Alex.
Hello guys, I'm Alex at the Gambit on the Twitter. I can't wait to be grim in this. I just hope I'm gonna keep my pens as clean as possible this time. Apparently, it's a thing you do in like all the grim dark games. So far, it's me and somebody else. Pants gets dirty with crap.
It's a tradition.
Yeah,
It's that and killing siblings. That's what I'm known for. Let's move on to Josh.
Hey, I'm Josh, also known as Pro Restarter. Super happy to be here with all of you. I haven't played Zweihander before. I love grim, dark fantasies. So I'm looking forward to this. Not the shenanigans I'll probably bring to it.
Cool. And then Kat.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I've never played Zweihander, but I've played Warhammer, so I'm familiar with that type of setting. On Twitter, I'm not really active. It's at CAATHX. But I'm really active on Instagram at @Cephaloscope if you want to check out some knitting and cat photos.
Put it in the chat when you have a moment.
Yep, I will.
Cool. And last but not least, Eric.
Hey, thanks, Simon. I'm Eric. I'm Eric Vulgaris on Twitter, Twitches, and YouTubes. I'm a streamer, game designer, graphics designer, artist. I'm super active on Twitter. All I do is play role-playing games. And I've never played Zweihander before. I'm super excited to finally get into it. So thank you so much for putting this together. And I'm excited to get started and make a character tonight.
No problem. And I also want to thank Summer at Just a Summer Job. You can see her credits right down there, her name and everything. Thank you so much, Summer, for the overlay in such short notice. So she's the one who built the super cool overlay we have for tonight, and that we'll probably use for the entire campaign. Except if we need to like have a map or something, then we'll move things around. But anyway, without further ado, we'll start building our characters. So I just want to talk about the setting just a wee bit, since Zweihander, what I love about it is that it's sort of setting agnostic. It's built off of the Warhammer Fantasy 2nd Edition rule set, which was great, but flawed. And the guys who made this, person by the name of, and I'm really sorry, I keep forgetting the name, Daniel Fox, decided to basically build a better version of Warhammer, one that doesn't have all the inherent flaws of the 2nd edition, and in doing so made an extraordinary game that can be played in almost any type of setting. It could be, you can remake, Game of Thrones with it, you could do Witcher, you could do Elric of Melbomene, you could even do Conan, Warhammer, whatever you want. And in reading the book, I decided to really quickly make up a world, a grim, dark, dying type of world, where the stars are gone. Most of the world has fallen into ruins. There's only this like one pocket of civilization that is left in a place called the Veil, Vale, and not Veil. And in this place, it's split. The Veil is split into 8 realms, 8 territories that are all vying for control of whatever resources are left, whatever riches can be found outside of their realms. And everything, the only unifying thing in all the realms is a the Church of the Holy Flame, Church of the Light, the Holy Light, which is the like state religion of all the realms. Regardless of what the laws and traditions and cultures of each kingdom are, everybody respects whatever holidays that the church has put forth. Everybody has to worship the main deity, which they just call, it goes by the name of the light or the flame or something like that. It doesn't really have a name. In this world, thousands of years ago, elves used to rule the world, and they had these immense empires, and they worshipped what we now call the old gods. And some of their names have stayed throughout the ages into things that are not necessarily worship, but people give a courteous nods to some of the gods, either through like tradition or just like plain superstition. Two of them are actually the two moons that are the only astral objects in the sky that are still visible, which are Fenris, the wolf, and Artemis, the hunter. Aside from them, there used to be an entire empire of gnomes and halflings far to the south, in a place that is now called the Ashlands. In this place, the barrier between the physical world and whatever weird, arcane, Cthulhu-esque world that is the beyond. Sorry, there's a stream kitten. I couldn't bear to not be on camera. So the veil tore out over this part of the land, and creatures came out of it and just laid waste to the entire territories that are now the Ashlands, which is why most of the gnomes and halflings that you'll see in the Eight Realms are refugees. To the east, far beyond the mountains, are the Wasted Lands. Lands that used to be fertile, that were basically rendered barren by the ogres, whose sole purpose in life is to eat, devour, swallow anything. When they ran out of resources, they decided to invade the Veil. They were pushed back. That was roughly 100 years ago, but some of their dynasty has stayed in in the realm in the form of the half ogres, creatures that are roughly 8 feet tall, immense gut, fond of food and brawls, but also a grim reminder that whatever the humans had could have been easily taken away. And dwarves in this world are called hill folks. They don't live on their mountains. They actually live in burrows, much like the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. They're mostly a very calm, withdrawn people that are, compared to, let's say, the Warhammer dwarves. Dwarves in hill folks in MistVeil are actually not prone to grudges and hatred and such. So this is the world in a nutshell. This is like my elevator pitch of the world. If you guys have any question while we're building characters, feel free to ask. To be honest with you, none, or like I think one of the 8 realms actually has a name. 2 of them, one of them has a ruler. I've left purposefully parts of the setting out so that we can just build it from whatever characters you're going to build tonight. So if you need anything, you want to build a character that is, let's say, the equivalent of a Bretonnian from Warhammer, so a like French holy like Grail questing knight. Well, then let's say one of the 8 realms is actually something close to like medieval France or like Renaissance France, and that's it. We don't need to go any further. So anything that you guys need for your characters or whatever, we have it. One last little thing, spellcasting. So spells either come from beyond the veil, which is where priests draw their powers, and even arcane spellcasters. The way it works is that an arcane spellcaster actually reaches out beyond the veil, takes some of the whatever metaphysical power is there, brings it back forcefully, and weaves it into an effect. Whereas the divine casters, from what they say anyway, is that they ask the gods to send them that power through the veil, which is less dangerous, less prone to tearing, less prone to summoning what we'll call demons. And the other source of magic that exists are the magical mists. So once the elves, basically almost all of them, vanished untold years ago, they left behind pockets of fog, if you prefer, that clings to an area. Normally it's around older ruins or places of importance, places that are magically charged or emotionally charged. And those mists are magical. Those that can actually manipulate them, the mist speakers, they can use the mist to shape it and witness events that were in the past, are in the future, are happening right now, and at a certain level of power, which we probably won't get to unless we stretch the game out a bit more. But they can use the mist to transport themselves across the realm, basically teleport, and they can use the mist to attack creatures if they want to. But normally mist speakers are, and you guys have probably read it in the document that I sent, are taken from the Old Believer profession in Zweihander, which means that they're actually pacifists and non-violent most of the time. Whew. So that was the elevator pitch, all of it. Let's make characters, guys.
Okay.
So, I gave you two choices, and I'll just tell everybody about that. So, I gave the players the choice to either roll their characters completely randomly, so use the character creation method that is in the book, I think, was it Grim and Perilous method or something like that? So, we can do that. If you do roll your character completely randomly, you start with 200 additional reward points, basically 2 advances. So you're 10% closer to completing your first profession. Which, by the way, this game, which is slated to run about 6 sessions, unless we decide to have it go further, longer. But this game, I expected it to end with you guys beginning your second profession. So I'll be somewhat generous with XP, especially since, we want to try it out, so we might as well also try out leveling while we're at it. But those that roll randomly will have a tiny head start. But by the end of the campaign, everybody should be, at their at least second profession, their intermediate tier. Otherwise, you can choose everything from, you guys have the book, you guys have the document. So what we'll do is, who's rolling randomly, actually?
Yo.
What up?
Yeah.
Alex, Eric, Josh?
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
All right, well, I can start with the other 3 if you want to. So you guys, like I said earlier, you can use physical dice. If you want to use physical dice, you can use Roll20 if you want to use Roll20. But basically rolling for your stats. So in Zweihander, for those that have played in Warhammer, the stats are somewhat different. Let me just bring my default, my example character sheet up. So your stats are combat, brawn, agility, perception, intelligence, willpower, and fellowship. In Zweihander, anything that used to be weapon skill and ballistic skill were put together as combat skills. And then within combat, you have different values, different skills that will differentiate, if you're good with melee weapons or ranged weapons and all that. So to roll your stats, which is what we'll do right now for those, everybody has to roll one way or another for the stats. So it's 3d10. So you can roll 3d10 for each stat, and to which you add the 25. So 3d10s plus 25.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 3d6. Yeah, that won't be enough, Eric. And then you can, if you want to do your character completely randomly, you have to assign the stats as they are rolled. So your first one would be combat, the second one would be brawn, third one would be agility, etc., etc.
Do we put it in the circled?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Put it in the big circles on your sheet.
Oh.
48, 42, 51, 45.
Okay. Better than average, I think.
I think average is in this one. Average would be 42.
Wow. I am. Oh boy, I'm gonna die real fast, aren't I? All my stats are better than average.
That like super quick.
I got
Oh
like
yeah, that means I'm dead.
yeah, I'm good.
There's 7 stats, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I like to roll dice, so I rolled dice.
oh, you physical dice?
Yep.
No problem. Just announce what numbers you have when you've rolled all of them.
Yep.
Yep, and don't forget to add 25 to the result,
Yeah.
or just say up what you rolled. Yeah.
What did you say the average was?
42.
42.
I have 3 41s
Hey, there you go.
Oh.
and 1 39,
Oh.
but I also have
50
a
now.
49.
No, I'm gonna die.
I swear, Josh, you're not allowed to roll the dice on Roll20 anymore.
What, man? It's not my fault. Roll20 loves me, alright?
It's insane.
I got you, boo.
By the way, everyone, if once you're done rolling all of your stats, if you have one attribute that is below 42, you can bring it up to a 42. Just one of them. It's called the mercy rule.
Do you want to know my stats to see if I died at birth or?
No, actually, there's no dying at birth and re-rolling in this one.
You just
So
never
compared, Kat, because you played Warhammer, so compared to Warhammer, you have more chances of succeeding even at first than you used to have. Like your base chance is your stat, but then to that you also add your skill. So to be fair, even if you roll, let's say, a 35, it would still, if you're skilled in something that is based off of that stat, you would still start with like a 55% chance. 45, sorry.
Oh, shit.
And then if something is easier, well, you get bonuses and everything, just like in Warhammer.
Let's see what these little bonuses give me. Yeah.
Oh, there's Zweihander RPG in chat.
So, are we going hard mode, boys, and actually rolling our race as well?
If you want to roll
Nice.
randomly, you roll everything randomly.
Yeah.
Nice.
The only thing, like I said in the document, the only thing I'll allow you guys to choose is you're going to roll 2 careers randomly, and then you can choose between the 2. Because, I mean, sometimes it might happen that, 2 people roll the same, the same profession. It's kind of a bummer. I think we got that on the, Warhammer game on Off the Table at first.
Okay. Well, I bumped my brawl up to a 42, so I'm sitting pretty right now. I got nimbleness at 5. It's
Pretty
good.
cool. Pretty cool. All right. Your next step is to roll those who roll randomly for gender or sex.
Yes.
So
Is that what you could answer?
you can roll for your sex. The gender is anything you guys want. But
Right,
it's
so-
a percentile dice.
Right. So obviously it's a 50-50 split between male and female.
Yeah, 1 to 50, 51 to 100.
Right. What if I'm not sure I want to be like, maybe I'm like just I don't identify strongly as one. What could we say, like 90 plus? Would that be cool real quick? Like, can I like change? Is it okay to roll randomly, but say that like on a certain percentage, I'm just like I'm they or ambiguous or just concealed?
Sure. Well, actually, the way the book presents it is literally your biological sex.
Yeah.
But aside from that, you can be any gender, any identification you want.
Okay,
It
cool.
doesn't
So-
like elves and MistVeil are actually very androgynous, so they
Okay,
don't really look like any.
All right, cool. I got female anyways, which is
Yep.
what I wanted.
Cool.
Okay.
What's 39?
Female.
Okay.
76 is male.
I'm a dude.
All right. Time to
I'm a
determine.
gal.
All right.
That'd be fun.
You guys wanted to roll randomly. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm an
no.
ogre.
Okay, so race. You can, even if you roll randomly, you can default to human if you want, because
Thank
human
you.
Okay.
isn't on the table. Because
Oh, I see
everybody's
that.
human unless you want to roll. So Eric,
Oh.
you could decide between being an ogre or being a human.
Oh, I want to be a human for sure.
Then human it is.
Boo. Let's do this. I'm ready. I'm ready, everyone. I should be a
Alright.
gnome. Prophecy is coming true.
I ain't rolling. I'm gonna be Yumi.
All right, human,
I know
human.
myself.
Josh, you can choose between gnome
Nope.
and human.
Wait.
It's happening,
No,
Josh.
I did it.
Josh, it's happening. It's happening.
I
What?
did it.
Josh is now the OP gnome.
I did it.
Little ball of fury.
The prophecy spoke of me.
All right, and cat.
I'm gonna die.
Human.
Human. All right. So we got 4 humans and a gnome.
Yay.
All right. And then we're gonna roll for racial traits. So there's a difference in.
Let me
Zweihander.
pause you for a sec.
Huh?
What
Yep.
about the racial modifier that goes in?
Oh yeah, that's gonna go in as well. But I was gonna call them out loud so people viewers
Okay.
can know.
Sorry.
But there's also racial traits. So basically, compared to Warhammer, it's not everybody has the same trait. So like all dwarves are good at drinking alcohol or whatever. There is a certain degree of customization that goes in. But every human has a bonus to their combat bonus, their intelligence bonus, and their perception bonus. Each 3 of these attributes go up by 1. The bonus goes into the square that's next to your circle. So the circle was the number you rolled, and the square is normally the 10th. So the first digit of your, so let's say you got a 36 for brawn, your bonus would be 3. And it's normally calculated automatically, but then you can boost it up to, well, let's say combat, you could boost it up by 1 if you are a human. So human,
Can you?
combat, intelligence, and perception bonus each go up by 1.
I think it did it by itself when I typed in human. It put ones and minuses and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it might
It-
actually.
It did.
It did automatically?
for mine as well. Yeah,
That's
by
great.
typing in human as your, yeah, when you put human as your race, it will do that for you.
What about the other ones though?
Huh?
Oh, it did. Okay.
It does it, yeah. Some stuff will autofill, I think.
Nice.
Cool.
Actually, my
Okay.
human didn't do anything for race.
Type it with a capital H. Made
Yeah.
a difference for me.
Oh, that's probably why. Human.
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 Yeah, that's it. I wrote it with lowercase. So
Yes.
that's for
I
human.
discard.
Gnomes actually have, just so everybody knows, they're more agile, intelligent, and willful, but they have a penalty to brawn, combat, and fellowship. So, my human friends, can you roll a percentile die for your racial modifiers?
11.
22.
11, 22, and
50.
50. All right, so 11, you've got danger sense. 22, you are dauntless. And
I am with
50
Daunt.
is called manifest destiny. So what do they do? Danger sense. Here's the effect. Whenever you are surprised, and you can write that somewhere on your sheet, you can spend 1 fortune point to avoid it and take your turn as normal. So whenever you'd be caught by surprise, you can just spend a fortune point and say, well, you know what, I'm not surprised. Dauntless, you are immune to the effects of the intimidate skill and cannot be stunned or knocked out.
Nice.
Yep, you are, you shrug off fear like it was nothing. And then manifest destiny, which is a cool one. When you use
Something
a
about-
skill,
Something about the US in there. I forgot.
Nope. When you use a skill that you do not possess skill ranks in it, you have a plus 5% to it.
Oh, cool.
So anything you're not proficient with, you're already better than everyone at doing.
Awesome.
Mr. Gnome, can you roll your percentile? Your D100.
Can I just say, you guys, you should all read the gnome description, especially the last the last paragraph. It's hilarious about tinkering. It's so funny.
Yep. It's gnomes are funny.
It's great. I love it. D100, yeah?
Yeah.
It's so great. Oh, I got a 4. It's pretty.
4. Clockworks of War. Oh god.
Nice.
Provided you have the appropriate tools, any two-handed weapon can be modified into a compact one-handed version, which only you can wield. Despite being one-handed, it retains its original function, but now has an encumbrance of 1.
Wow.
I win at Zweihander.
So,
I won.
yeah, you can basically miniaturize any weapon that would be too big for you and still be able to use it.
That's pretty awesome.
It is.
Great.
Yep, it's a switchblade style two-handed sword. Cog-driven crossbows or
right?
folding axes. Huh?
So
It's a
talent.
talent, yeah. Or it's a racial trait, but honestly, you can write it just pretty much wherever. Like there's a section for traits on the right part of the sheet. Like on your main sheet where your attributes are, you can write it there if you want. So that's for that. All right. 3 human and 8 gnome. It's gonna be interesting. So for those of you who are rolling completely randomly, the next step is to choose your archetype. Archetypes are basically a group of professions, so like classes in D&D if you'd rather. And then from these you choose your archetype, so which subtype of whatever you've rolled generated. Like I said earlier, you guys can roll twice and choose between. So you can roll 2 archetypes and then 1 profession from each. Whoa, I lost count. Archetype 56 or 13 for Eric. 56 would be Ranger or Academic. And then within each, I'm going to ask you to roll a D100 again.
Okay.
Ranger archetype 88, a Slayer. Or
Okay.
Academic would be a...
Do I roll again for the academic?
yeah, just roll another D100,
Yeah.
please.
Okay.
Anchorite.
Anchorite. I don't know what that is.
They are the type of people that'll go... In MistVeil, they would go to the Ashlands or the Wasted Lands to meditate and try to find divine communion through hardship, through fasting, and enduring the worst physical punishment possible.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
So it's either that or the Slayer, which is a professional monster killer.
I mean, professional monster killer sounds super like fun, but also like being an ascetic and going into horrible wastelands to meditate just sounds way better.
All right, so
Nothing wrong with the Slayer. It's just, yeah.
look, anything you want. So you are now an Anchorite. All right, who else wanted to roll randomly? So we've got a human Anchorite. That was the
All
first
right,
one.
let's go with me. I've got either commoner or academic.
Ooh, who's your commoner?
I don't know yet. I'm rolling now.
Roll.
All right, let's go with the academic first. We've got 54.
Academic 54. Engineer.
Okay. Commoner 63.
Jailer.
Ooh.
Nice.
Only one of them can actually like sustain a normal lifestyle. Like one of them's a like proper career. The other one is
I think I'll go with jailer.
cool. Go with the grim dark choice.
Hell yeah.
Don't go to college. All right, Josh.
Okay, let's see. 49.
Knave. Or what would be the other one?
What other one? Let's roll
Yeah.
twice. Okay. 63.
Knave or Ranger. So then roll for Knave, roll for Ranger, and then you can decide which one of the two you want.
Yeah. 100.
Ooh, Knave 100 Vigilante.
Oh.
A gnomish vigilante. What the hell?
Oh my god.
Or
yes.
what's the ranger?
Gnomish Batman.
I am the one who knocks. A2.
80. The Reeve.
That's what I wanted to do. It's a policeman.
Yeah,
It's
Reeve is like tax collector slash road warden.
Isn't the Reeve the guy who's just Judge Dredd?
Yes.
Yep, you are the law.
Oh my god, I'm like Batman or Judge Dredd.
Yep. But you're like 3 feet tall.
That doesn't matter to me.
That's badass.
That's amazing.
Once again, I win at Zweihander.
This is ridiculous. I love this.
So, which of the two? I'll let you think about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sure.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna look them up real quick.
All right.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
I
Both of
know,
those are really
right?
good.
Cat, did you want to roll? Okay.
Yeah, I will actually.
31 is a commoner. What's the other one?
Okay.
96 is a warrior.
Ugh.
So, roll for a commoner. 96 again. That would be a servant. Or, if you go warrior, a berserker.
I'll go with the servant. I
Alright.
don't feel like playing a fighter.
Good. So, now that we know which archetypes you guys belong to, or, well, we'll get back to Josh. I'll let you think about it, and I'll do everybody else in the meantime. Your archetypes also determine your starting equipment. So the stuff that you have on your back with you as the game begins. So we have an academic. If you want to copy it from the book, it's on page 44.
Yeah.
But just so everybody knows, all of our viewers, academics basically start with like Black Lotus, a bottle of leeches, a dirk, fine clothing, holy symbols, smelling salts, shoes, writing kits, and then a very puny weapon made to defend themselves on the roads that they travel, when they do travel. Commoners are on page 45, and they normally start with not a whole lot of things. But they do have a bottle bomb, a few bandages, grave root, holy symbols, a shiv, a rucksack, and they can choose between a sling, a splitting mole, or a threshing flail.
What's a threshing flail? What's that mean?
It's the actual like farming implement that was the ancestor to the ball and chain type of flail. So it's like this one piece of wood, and then like 2 or 3 links of chain, and then another piece of wood, and you use that to beat grain with it to get like all the seeds out or whatever. It's part of like the thing that you do when you're a farmer. I actually had to research like medieval farming techniques.
Okay, cool.
A couple years ago. So yeah, that's what the threshing flail does. We have... Well, it depends. Knave or ranger?
Where do you put your starting gear on the character sheet?
That's a good question.
Yeah, there's no spot
I
for
think it's under trap. Yeah, it's under trappings. So you just add trappings, and then you put them there.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, the Roll20 sheets are a bit wonky.
So just add each item at a
Yeah,
time.
add each item at a time.
Well, I have a bottle of leeches. I am good to go.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't need
basically
anything
cure
else.
just about anything. I mean, that's how it works, right? It's just leeches for everything.
Yeah. Whoever told you the opposite is just crazy and needs leeches.
Yep. A good bleeding. Oh, I should say a good bloodletting. So,
Okay.
Josh, I'll let you think about it. I'll move on to the rest, because we don't need to have the archetypes and the careers for everything else. We'll finish fleshing out the characters, and then we'll start talking about who you might be, where you came from, and all that jazz. Because
I'm
of course,
gonna be a Reeve.
a Reeve. All right.
I am the law.
Oh my god, I love you so much right now.
That's gonna be me.
So just so we know again, Gnome Reeve, Human Servant, Human Anchorite, and Human
Jailer.
Alright. So basically both Kat and Alex, actually, your starting gear is on page 45.
Sweet.
Under common.
Of a book that I don't have.
Oh, here I can copy it for you.
That would be great, thanks.
It's not like I had Zweihander open like on my desktop all the time these past couple weeks.
Liar.
So, oh, that's Ranger 44.
Oh, yes.
No, wait,
Awesome.
43. Oh, wow, there are page differences between the one that I have, the PDF that I have, and my actual physical copy.
Really?
Yeah. That's weird. Here, Kat, you should get it in a private message on Discord.
Yep.
Cool, cool, cool.
Cool.
So,
I have a choice between soft shoes and sandals.
Yep.
Sandals, no question. Final answer.
it needs to be the worst choice. Like, the one thing you'll lose, like, every 3 steps.
Flip-flops.
I mean, yeah, they're medieval flip-flops.
Nice.
I mean, soft
Yeah.
shoes would be like medieval Crocs. And
Since
who
I'm gonna
wants
play,
that?
since I'm gonna play an anchorite, wearing some sandals, I'm gonna put on some Kanye West so they finish off this character. Listen to my God.
Do we have to?
Well, that's the physical. Like, you remember when I said like you go through like hard, like physical hardships and all that? Listening to some of Kanye's songs on repeat. Yeah.
I think
Actually,
you're
no,
listening to
wait.
talk.
Not Kanye's songs, Kanye's tweets.
Just like our
Oh, that
fearless
one
leaders'
there.
tweets.
Are you gonna be spitting off some of Kanye's lines there as their proverbs?
I think I will.
Holy proverbs of.
I think I will at certain points. You know, especially if we're gonna go in like a revolutionary path. You know, man should have all that power.
Oh my god, please don't.
Yes, I love it.
Oh, you don't? You think? Okay. You signed up to play with the game. You're playing a game. You're trapped here with me, buddy.
I mean, wait till you give my gnome.
So we'll spend XP and reward points to build your characters later. I just want to talk about a couple of things called the secondary attributes. So one of the very cool mechanics that I found in Darkest Dungeon was the stress mechanic, which they've replicated in Zweihander, or Zweihander did it first, whatever. Called the peril threshold on your character sheet. Anything that affects your character's stress, anxiety, fatigue, emotional wariness, whatever it is, fear or social shame, goes into your peril track. And as you rack up peril, you start getting, distracted and less good at what you would normally be good at. You have it on your sheet. It's with your skills and your attributes. And it's already calculated for you according to your willpower bonus. So this is like, let's call it mental HP. So whenever you garner more than X amount of peril, then your character goes down. So you start as unhindered, and then imperiled, and then you ignore skill ranks. So skill ranks are basically the radio buttons that are next to the skills on like the middle part of the sheet, and they each give you a plus 10% chance to succeed at a check. So the more peril you've accumulated, the more skills you remove, and at some point you become so bad at everything that you can't succeed, and then you become incapacitated, which is basically you faint from whatever it is, whatever condition it is you have. You
and
guys
that's only
will...
like in.
Uh-huh.
It's not physical. It's
That's all mental. Yeah.
mental. Okay.
So basically, you guys will start as unhindered, and I don't think you'll ever get back to unhindered after the game starts.
Oh,
Because this is a grim, dark world, after all. Same goes for your damage threshold, which should have been calculated automatically. This one is on, for some reason, your trappings page. Like instead of combat. I don't know why. I
Okay.
think it's just a mix-up in the code of the sheet, because under combat you have like the encumbrance rules, which they would have been better to be put into trappings, but whatever. So damage threshold is just about the same thing. So as you take damage, your condition worsens, but we'll go through that the moment we get into a combat. But I just wanted to point those out to you, and so is your encumbrance limit. That should be under combat, already pre-calculated. So some of the like heavy items will have a certain encumbrance value, and as long as you're within your encumbrance limit, you don't have any penalties. And then, well, for every point above that you have, your initiative and your movement and everything goes down by 1. So at some point you become just way too encumbered. Which is why, Josh, you have this power to take any two-handed weapon and turn it into a encumbrance 1 weapon, so that it's not as heavy for you as it should be.
Which works great for my reef.
Yep. Your movement, your initiative, all that's been calculated automatically. So going into backgrounds, if you guys want to roll for the season of your birth, which is just purely flavor, but can often be used, as like roleplay tools, as hooks for your character, because we unintentionally assign certain character traits to people according to which season they were born in. Eric, you're born in autumn. Kat,
My
you're
end will
born in
not be
autumn.
clean.
Huh?
My end will not be clean.
Yeah, his doom thing for his.
You rolled a doom already. What was your doom? 52.
Yeah. My end
Oh,
will not
wow,
be clean.
it's just that. Your end. Okay. Oh, that's going to be messy. All right, you're going to go out in a messy way. Alex, you were born in winter.
Yes, and my doom is 98, which do not fly too close to the stars. Okay. Don't think I'll ever be able to get up there, so that's cool.
Joke's on you, there's no stars in our universe.
Yeah.
There you go.
But there are other type of stars if you're thinking of, not
There's
literally.
morning stars, there are throwing stars.
Yeah, don't try to fly too close to like a huge rack of morning stars. Like that would be a good idea.
Oh, okay then.
Like, don't rehearse your Evil Knievel tricks on like stunts over like just a carpet of morning stars.
I'll give it my best. Is there a spot to put that in, or is it just
Write it
just-
somewhere on your sheet because it's important. Dooming the same way, I use the same rules as in Warhammer. So basically, if you die and you can somehow link your death to your dooming, and it makes sense, your next character starts with bonus XP. Kat, you were born in autumn. Can you roll again for your dooming?
Another D100.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
it's all 100.
All right.
53.
Another 53.
Sickness will be your downfall.
Okay.
So I have to push you toward anybody that sneezes.
No.
And Josh, what was your dooming again? Did you roll for
I
it?
haven't done mine yet because I just picked Reeve, so I'm a little behind everyone.
Oh, it's okay. Well, can you roll for like season and then just go back to like trappings and such when you have a second?
Yeah. Where is that?
Your season of birth, just roll a d100. It would be on page 51.
Oh, okay, yeah, I went like super far away. Oh, I have to redo it. $84.
You're a child of winter as well. So we got 2 autumn, then 2 winters.
People were really active during spring.
What's my
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then your dooming is another d100. But you were born in winter.
Oh, right. Cool.
You are a winter gnome.
19.
And your doom, the oldest are the strongest.
It's really weird.
And now I need to roll elderly in my age group, and that'll be
So-
your doom.
I also use, so your age group will also change certain aspects of your character, but I also attribute bonus XP to anyone who rolls higher than young.
Hell yeah.
Oh, 80, 85.
Oh, I'm only middle aged. Damn it.
Yep,
91
middle
to 100
aged.
is out early. Okay. All right, middle aged.
Alex,
Cool.
you're an adult.
I'm
Why
a,
did that-
yeah.
Huh?
oh, so-
Slash RD 100. It should have worked. 93, Cat? You would be elderly. An elderly servant.
Yes.
You guys, for age group, I can let you always default back to young if you want, but you'll lose the bonus XP that goes with it.
What's the bonus XP again?
So it would be 100 XP per age group above young. So elderly is 300.
There you go. I'm 35. I don't know if it changes anything at that point. If I choose between 26 and 70, I mean,
So, I mean, Kat, if you look at it this way, you can either be like a young page, or you can be the old maester from Game of Thrones.
No, because I'm a female.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
as
Oh,
a
yeah.
female.
Nah. I'm not ready for this. I'm gonna default back to young.
All right, so you're a young
know what?
servant.
I'll be elderly.
Did you roll elderly?
Nope. I rolled
Can I
adult.
give him my roll?
Oh, okay, you want to switch your adult with Cat?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
You're an adult. I am elderly.
An elderly
That's fine with
jailer,
me.
an adult
Okay.
servant, a middle age. Eric, you get a 200 reward point bonus. Alex, 300.
Hell yeah.
And Josh, which age group are you part of?
So just give me a second. Just
Mhm.
trying to
Come on.
catch up here.
Come on.
Okay,
91.
let's do this.
You said 300, right?
Up.
Yep.
53.
53.
I'm already
You are
plus,
an adult.
Nice.
So you also get a bonus 100 XP. And every adult has to roll once a D100 for a distinguishing mark.
3 times.
And in your case, Alex, you have to roll 3 times.
Yeah.
That'll
And
be
middle age
funny.
is twice. Cat?
I am sunburned and I have long sideburns. So I think I probably have some sort of punky hair.
Makes
I'm
sense.
thinking something like
Like shaved on the side with just like the
yeah,
long
except for
sideburns.
those long ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
you-
it looks good.
Wait, you
make it
went
work.
you went to the desert to meditate for a while. You come back singing Kanye West, and you've got this weird like mohawk punkish haircut. Did you go to Coachella or something, or like Burning
Yeah, I
Man?
think I did.
Burning Man.
I literally just found the picture, y'all. This is perfect, actually.
Oh, God.
Of the
Put
hair.
it on Discord.
Yeah, I will do that right now.
Kat, you rolled a 6.
Yep.
You have an asexual appearance.
Nice.
I
Is
kind
there a
of
way-
agree. Like for a young servant, that's kind of a trait you want.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that one.
Cool, cool.
Is there a way to roll like
Oh,
3
alright, the hair
deaths
is
in a row
perfect.
you
and have like
just-
all the results?
You just put like /R space 3D100.
I got 24, so
And then, like-
claw marks over face.
Claw marks over face. Yep. And Alex, wow, that's a whole bunch. Your
Yay.
first one, Alex, is you have different colored eyes.
Sweet.
You have a strong jaw. And you have a cherubic face. Or
I'm
cherubic.
freaking 91. How did I still I got that?
Baby face with a square jaw. Ah!
Wow.
Yep.
Oh wow, this is fun.
This is fun. I'm just looking at amazing haircuts. This is this is why I play role playing games.
I know, right?
Oh my god, please use the second one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the second one. That's
Yeah, the
pretty-
second one is the one I thought of like what you would look like.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. So for those who
I don't know.
didn't
If,
see
yeah,
it,
I
it's
don't know
like
if you can
this
show it.
enormous mohawk of like, I don't know, she has like a foot long of hair or close to.
Can I show her link in chat, or will
I
it
think
kill me?
I don't think it's gonna kill you.
Yeah,
Okay.
shouldn't do.
Oh, you mean like do
Wow.
I auto mod my chat? No, not yet.
Yeah.
I have a whole total of like 13 viewers. And
You,
I mean, if
need
people
for-
start doing shit in the chat, I'll bring down the ban hammer. But otherwise, I'm cool. As long as people are cool.
Do I
Uh,
need to roll 2 more times on the marks?
the marks. Are you middle age or are you an adult? You are an adult, right?
I'm an adult, right?
So you just roll once.
Okay.
It's just the elderly Alex that has a whole bunch of stuff. Then next, and this is another thing that I like about Zweihander, is the build type. So depending on how your character is built, armor, which needs to be custom made, might be more expensive or less expensive because it uses more or less resources.
I'm frail.
Eric,
Okay.
you are frail.
Oh, this
Tiny,
is awesome.
tiny.
I am this punk aesthetic tiny person. Yes.
Super cool.
Ridiculous. I love it.
And then 59, that would be normal, so you're good.
Boo.
Cat, you are corpulent.
Indeed.
You became who is it?
In Game of Thrones?
Yeah, no, that I was gonna say Sam, but as a female version of.
Well, female Sam. There you go. You got it.
I can find a reference. I'll find a reference.
Probably Alex. You rolled 32. Alex, you're slender, so you are a not a slender man. That was close. So Alex, you have a minus 10% on the price of everything you buy, whereas
Nice.
Cat is a plus 20 for anything that is like that has an impact on your build. Eric, height, weight, that's a 35. You're a human female that is
I'm
frail.
5'5", 106.
Yeah, that's wow, that's almost me.
17.
And then the Josh's is just gonna be hilarious. 17,
I'm 4 foot.
4'4", 83 pounds. No, wait, 107 pounds, or thereabouts.
Okay. 1
Cat, can you roll?
Yeah, I'm confused because everything's going pretty fast.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not helping by jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
okay.
It's fine.
Cat, you rolled an 87
I keep rolling the same numbers twice.
as a human female that is corpulent. You are 5'10" and 236 pounds.
That's not bad.
No, that's just, you're built like a
You're
rectangle.
tall as hell.
I'm like 5'3" in real life, so 5'10" is like I can't even imagine what
It's-
the world looks like from that height.
Ha!
I can tell you firsthand experience. It's amazing.
Shut up.
Let's see, 73, which would mean 6 feet, 169.
Oh, Alex, you're a male.
Oops.
Oh, shoot, I forgot. Female.
So 5'9".
Forgot all about that. That'll be even
5'9",
funnier.
135.
Oh shit, I'm a male too. I just realized. I look like the female one. I'm 4'4".
Yeah, no, I told the one I said out loud was the male. So 4'4" and 83 pounds.
It seems like there's nothing anywhere to put all this info in.
I think there is
Background.
on your sheet.
You have the bio and info in your sheet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's bio and info. You can
background.
put it there.
Yeah, that's what I did.
5'9", 1...
Pretty much the best place. But going back to customization, hair and eye color. If you guys want to roll, it would be, I think, 1, 2, twice actually. So Eric, I think you rolled like twice for the eyes or something.
I fucked up my hair roll. I left off a bracket, so I just re-rolled both of them.
Oh, okay, sure. So that would be 48 and 84, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's palindrome. I got
48, which is for hair, I think, would be
Sienna. So like a red brown,
Oh, that's pretty cool. And then
and my eyes are blue.
That's nice.
Oh, this is perfect. I'm exactly this character. I got this.
Cool.
Eyes, chestnut, like
I am
Why is it working when I do that?
because you have to do this instead of /R. You do this thing. Oh, okay. I can't do that.
Put a space between the,
Yeah.
the slash and the roll.
Great. I just got my eyes and hair, fucking chestnut and black.
Nope, that didn't work either.
What's mine? I don't have the book.
It's okay. What did you roll
Nope.
for the first one?
65.
55?
65.
65. I'm sorry.
65.
You've got chestnut hair.
I can't literally write it, but I'm putting 2 brackets.
Put it in Discord.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do that.
And what's your second number?
83.
83. Blue eyes.
White Dragon.
I would kick you if it wouldn't like screw up all the order of all the cams on the
Okay,
overlay.
I'll shut up.
We're almost done. The next.
I still gotta do air
Huh?
eyes.
Oh, Aaron eyes. Sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
I need to do trappings as well.
So for eyes, I got 49 and 37.
Trappings, real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Josh would be on page. Would be on page 47 of the book for you. Mind you, on the PDF, I think it's slightly different. PDF would be on page 45 under Ranger. If you want, I can copy paste it on not Roll20, but on Discord. Like so.
Cool. I found it. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So Aaron eyes. I'm sorry, Alex. What did you roll?
I got it.
Sure. What are they?
Oh, sienna and light brown
That's pretty cool.
for my eyes. And...
Oh yeah, because you got different colored eyes. That's the hair. Sienna is your hair color, by the way.
Oh. Where the hell are the eyes at?
It's the second one, because salt and pepper eyes
Oh.
isn't necessarily
Yes.
something.
Sure,
Like
that makes sense. I got
Heterochromatic.
hazel and black.
All right, hazel and black, and then your hair is sienna. That's nice. That's weird. That's nice. So, your upbringing will determine your favorite primary attribute, which is on your sheet, the tiny circle on the bottom left corner of the square where your stat is. So you'll see it's like a tiny circle, and if you click it, there's a like black check mark that appears in it. This is used, so your upbringing will determine your favorite primary attribute, and your primary attribute, basically whenever you buy focuses for skills related to those attributes, they cost half the price, so 50 XP instead of 100. Eric, your upbringing is scholastic. So your favorite attribute is intelligence. Well, isn't that nice? Catherine, scholastic. And your favorite attribute is also intelligence. Josh, that would be forgotten.
Can I just say that works perfectly for Nom, because their traits, like when they're giving birth, are just like, you're weak, leave you in the woods.
Yep, that's basically what it is. You had to survive on your own, and it means that your primary attribute is agility. And Alex, you rolled an 84, so reverent. Your upbringing was you were either raised to fear the wrath of the gods, and to respect the religion, and respect the church, and go to church on Sundays, and stuff like that. And your favorite attribute is willpower.
You said there was something on the character sheet for that?
Yeah, so if you look at your stats on the character sheet, notice that, like, to the bottom left of the circle where you entered your stat, there should be a tiny circle. Just click it. And then, Catherine, oh wait, I thought, yeah, that was your upbringing, and social class, well, Kat, you rolled 68, you're a burger, so you start with 2d10 plus 2 silver shillings, whereas Eric, had you already rolled for
16
social?
brass pennies.
Oh, God. 16
Because I'm broke as hell.
pennies.
I'm low class.
Yep.
That's perfect though.
Same for Josh. So 3d10 plus 3 pennies.
I might be a nihilist mystic.
Same for Alex. Everybody's a lowborn except for Kat.
Doesn't matter, because I'm the law.
But I'm a servant.
Yeah, Kat, it's actually 2d10 silver.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody
Right.
else is 3d10 pennies.
Ooh,
So, I mean,
2 plus 2.
Damn, boy, it's
There you go.
12.
10.
10 silver shillings, which is already more than like what everybody else has pulled together. I mean, you're a servant, but at least you're a paid servant. All of them are
Lord,
just
barrel.
broke.
That goes in trappings, or there's something else on the sheet.
Combat, and then at the bottom, coins.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's under combat.
okay.
Don't ask.
Hmm.
I mean, that's because that's where your items go.
So, drawbacks. It's not necessary to pick a drawback. I'm not going to enforce it on you guys if you don't want to pick a flaw. But basically, a flaw, what it does is you can regain, if the flaw comes into play and it prevents your character from doing something, or it creates, a situation where, or a challenge that is, relevant to the game and interesting, you can gain fate points out of that. But drawbacks are harsh. You don't have to take one.
Are we restricted to just taking one?
No, you don't have to.
No, I mean, can we take more than one?
Oh, you could take more than one, but you cannot gain more than one fate point anyway through them. So
then
if
that's
you have
fine.
like all the drawbacks in the world, it's
Yeah,
still
no,
only
I'm not
gonna.
mad. No, but if you're giving me a chance to get more fate points, I'm totally doing it. Yeah, I'm taking a drawback for sure, 100%.
All right, then just roll a d100.
The law has no drawback.
My
Survey
God, Josh, I
says-
love your character so
Survey
far.
says branded. Oh no,
Veteran
77.
Sin.
I'm sorry. Veteran Sin. Oh, you're missing a hand.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
So you cannot hold weapons which are two-handed, and you must flip to fail any skill test requiring the use of both your hands. So flipping to succeed, flipping to fail, what I call flip to win, flip to lose, is basically when you roll a d100. If a bit like advantage and disadvantage in D&D. So if you roll a skill check in Zweihander, which is a d100, let's say you needed a 40, you rolled a 35. Normally that means you would succeed. In your case, Eric, should this skill require the use of both your hands, you have to flip the results. And if that would means you failed, then you do fail. So 35
Sure.
becomes a 53, and then you fail. So there
But
are
I would
multiple
gain a fate
rules.
point.
But you would gain a fate point, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But of
That-
course, like it doesn't count if you're trying to always, I don't know, like juggle each morning for fun. Like that's
No,
not going to.
of course not. It has to be.
It has to be
related
relevant
to
to, yeah.
Yeah. I'm there with you.
So
Okay.
you
No,
lost
that's
a hand
easy.
at Burning Man.
Cool. Let's just do some climbing stuff, and I'll just start farming up fate points from you.
And then waste them right after that because you'll need to not fall. Does anybody
Yeah,
else want a drawback?
I did. I got a nutch.
You're a eunuch.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's way better. You're a gnomish eunuch.
Gnomish eunuch Reeve. You are immune to the charms and seduction by those who who find you attractive.
Oh, hold on. You glossed over the most important part. You were castrated for one reason or another.
Yeah.
The law will feel no love.
Your love is the Constitution.
You will not sire any children. You will not have a wife or a spouse or whatever.
The
You will
law is my
dedicate your life
mistress.
to the law.
Society's you child.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
And whenever you are the victim of charm or seduction, you gain corruption points.
If I succumb to them, yeah.
If you succumb to them, yeah. Because it's just... corruption points are basically what will drag you either towards the more zealous aspect of your character or the more chaotic aspect of the character, which we'll go into greater details later.
Where do I put it? Disorder?
Yeah, sure, it could be a disorder. I don't think there's a place to put the drawback on the sheet. I haven't found it originally.
I just put it, and then I put the page number.
Yeah, you could put it in background, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So
60.
our next step is alignment. Starting fate point because. So you start with 1 fate point. If you chose a drawback, you start with 2.
Nice. We have 2
You'll
fate
basically burn fate points to avoid dying permanently, or you can burn fate points to change the game in a major way. Give you an example. You could decide that I don't know, you guys are being pursued by the forces of the law because you did something wrong, because adventurers often do something wrong. And then you can just decide, well, you know what, the captain of the guards that's running after us, I'll burn a fate point. That guy's my brother-in-law. He's not going to arrest me. But, I can then change it a bit, make it more interesting. But the end result would be, you would have gotten arrested, maybe hung, right there and then instead, well, something else will happen.
I'm gonna say right now, if you break the law, you're gonna die. I am the law.
You'll be kneecapped. All right,
Yes.
so your alignment. If you
Did
guys,
you take a look at your back, Alex?
Yes, I did.
oh, you took a drawback.
Yes, week longs.
You can look nice.
I am
Oh.
Wheezy McWheezy.
Yeah, you're Wheezy McWheezy.
Just get all the body parts, guys. Hands, lungs.
So whenever you suffer physical peril, you move one additional step down the peril condition track negatively, and also suffer
Cool.
corruption. Wow.
This is gonna
Wow,
get
you're
rough.
like
I'm
you're
a
the
die.
elderly asthmatic jailer who's broke.
Yep, I'm gonna die in a gutter.
You are gonna be my dude.
You're gonna die in a jail.
Yeah, manning my station.
All right, so alignments.
Shit.
Alignments are a bit like in D&D, sort of like this moral, not necessarily moral compass for a character, but like a sort of guideline for what the two most extreme traits that your character can have. And oh, are you fucking kidding me? You rolled romanticism.
I got the best one.
So, Eric, your
Oh,
order
shit.
alignment is romanticism, but your chaos alignment is lechery.
Yeah.
So in one aspect, you become like this, romantic character who's, almost melancholic, whereas the other end of the spectrum, you just become this weird, like, pervy, lecherous character. Catherine,
What's mine?
97, zeal and fanaticism.
Oh shit.
The
Simon.
most witch hunter alignments there can be.
I got the same one, perfect for my Reeve.
Oh, Jesus.
So zeal is the order, and
Yeah, zeal is the order, and fanaticism is the other one.
How do you determine where you are in the scale of this?
So-
Because I identify strongly for the on the order side of romanticism here.
Yeah, so basically, you start at the neutral point. And then
Okay.
through your actions in game, if you act according to your chaotic aspect of your character, then you're going to build corruption points, which might, in quote, corrupt you and steer you more towards the lechery. Whereas if you act more like a romantic, then you will be steered more towards your order alignment. It's easier in a grimdark world to indulge in your chaos alignment than it is in your order alignment.
Yeah.
But the rewards are the same regardless. So even going to an extreme, whichever extreme it is never 100% good.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
I'm
not
just-
like
I-
good ending, bad ending, but it's like if you want to, and you roleplay your character the way you want. It's just
Right.
I would expect that if your character steers toward the more like let's say fanaticism, well, that it starts to show that you're not just zealous, you're actually a fanatic.
Right.
But you can try to fix that. You can try to
Yeah.
change it. It's one thing that will change your alignment a lot is mental trauma, like concussions. They give you corruption points, and they start messing around with your psyche. The other way to gain a lot of corruption points really fast is to use magic. Use magic recklessly. And that's why many spellcasters become a danger to society, because they turn into like these lunatics that are like 100% chaos. Because, it's easier. Build up corruption points and then use them to do something else. So to read from the book real quick, your alignments are merely a guide. They do not bind you to a specific outcome or behavior. but they should help you define and reflect your persona over the course of the campaign. You can even, depending on what happens, even change alignment completely as things progress. We never know. To tap into your alignment, which is right here, basically you can use your alignment as a way to like gain a certain advantage when rolling for a skill check or for something like that. So it's let's say, like, the example that they give is someone comes face to face with guards after they hid a dead body. They tap into their ferocity alignment and role-playing their dog pursuit for truth by warding away the city guards with the threat of violence. So it's like, look, I'm a ferocious character. I have like that many ranks in ferocity. I want to use that, as an aid to. It's a bit like the Wises in Mouse Guard, the way I see it. So it's, hey, you know what? I'm a zealot, so I'm gonna lean into that for this scene. And despite how each of our role play is, we can also assume that this is just, this is more ferocious, this is more romantic, this is more lecherous than we're letting it on. Alex, what was your alignment again? What did you roll? 45.
Gentility and cowardice.
Oh, the gentle jailer.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be funny.
Scenarios, corruption points. Yeah, so see, you can get corruption points to move it either towards order or chaos. If you cast spells, if you carry it through if you carry through narrative actions that may be deemed morally questionable, reprehensible, or violent, this is all going to turn you towards chaos. Suffering grievous injuries, being incapacitated, and if you're a practitioner of divine magic, if you violate your divine patron's strictures, then that also will steer you towards a more chaotic aspect. And then, of course, if you reach Order Alignment 10, you gain a Fate point. Everything resets to 0. If you reach Chaos Rank 10, you gain a Disorder. Everything resets to 0.
So it's not bad per se
It's,
that you
yeah,
reach
the
chaos.
order.
It's bad, but it's not end game.
No, and just like the Order at 10, I mean, by the time you get there, you'll be like, 100% whatever your Order alignment is. Like, it still is, the super gentle jailer who refuses to harm anyone or who doesn't want to step on anybody's toes, who, it's courtesy above everything, above all else. That is also kind of a disadvantage, a drawback for the rest of the group when they want to do something.
True.
Next step
I realize
is...
I'm kind of like Brienne in Game of Thrones, but as a servant, not a fighter.
Yeah, basically. So what you guys have left to do is to buy using whatever reward points you have. So the starting amount would be 900, because out of the 1,000 that they normally give, you have to give out to pay 100 to just start the game. So it's 900 plus whatever bonus you guys have. So since you all rolled randomly, you already have all a 200 XP bonus, so you start at 1,100. And for those of you who are older than other characters, you start with additional XP. Basically, anything you want to buy from the table in the PDF that I sent you, anything that you buy there is 100. So if you've got 1,200 XP, you can basically buy 12 of these items out of the 20 that you have. And those, we can do them offline, since it would just be, it would just be us looking at tables over and over. But I do want to talk about the special ability that each of you gets, or drawback, depending on your career. And we'll start with the Anchorite. You've got a cool ability called a Sacred Mantra that you can repeat to yourself. And you
I am one with the Force.
and the Force is with me. Yep.
Yeah.
And deep within a spiritual trance, you're able to bend reality to restore vigor and mend your mind. So when you enter a trance for 1 hour, you may roll a resolve test, and at the end of the trance, you expel any intoxication or poisons from your system.
That's so dope.
Yeah, you can cure yourself of hangover or like stinking drunkenness by just sitting down and repeating Kanye West songs for an hour.
That would drive
Right.
anybody else mad.
That is the only ability that anchorites get. Everybody gets one ability, and then you can buy other talents and other skill advances through the sheet. We'll go through that in a second. But who's the other? We said Jailer was another one, and then
Yep.
Servant. So let's go alphabetically. Jailer, you get a special ability called Tortuous Inquisition.
Oh yeah, that's gonna come in handy with my
Yeah.
Gentile demeanor.
You know every trick necessary to pry information from others, be it acid, scissors, pincers, or whatever. So whenever you roll an interrogation test, you can flip the win. And if you win, it's always considered a critical success.
Nice.
Um,
I'm gonna invent waterboarding. Just
and
you wait.
whenever you successfully interrogate someone, you may decide to inflict a moderate or serious injury of your choice, or cause them to suffer from stress or fear. So even without torture, if you just interrogate someone, you can decide at the end, well, you know what, I want this person to suffer from stress, to gain, like, peril. Or, you know, I also want to torture them and cause grievous harm to that person.
Nice. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Our next one is the Servant. No, the Reeve. Reeve goes before Servant. Reeve has, of course, I am the law. Which is your
For
ability.
real? Is that a thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
So flip to succeed any intimidate check, and when you succeed, it's always a critical success. Furthermore, you can always influence a number of people with the intimidate skill equal to 3 times your brawn bonus. So, and this includes the use of Litany of Hatred during combat. Litany of Hatred is an ability that everybody has, which you basically spew profanities at a creature or someone, and you can intimidate them through that. Well, in your case, Josh, what is your brawn bonus?
3.
So whenever you use the Intimidate skill, you can always use it on 3 people at once, like at the same time.
I thought it was double the bonus.
It's 3 times your BB. Sorry, so it's 9.
9.
It's even
Nice.
worse. 9 people.
Tiny, like 4'4" dog walks up and is just like, listen to me.
And everybody does listen to you. And the Servant. Servant, you have an ability called Town Gossip, which is when you fail an eavesdrop or rumor test, you may re-roll, but must accept the second roll.
Yep.
Now you all have advances to buy for your character sheet. In the game book are all the description of all the talents, of all the skills. But just to get into that real quick, your skills are all on your character sheet on Roll20, and they're grouped by the stat that they fall under. And so whenever you buy an increase in a skill, you check the first circle. And then later on, if you get another career which also gives you access to that skill in their advances, then you can check the second one and then the third one. And each one you check is basically a plus 10% to your melee. Well, in my case, I rolled for martial melee, for example. And so I got a plus 10 because I had checked martial melee. So when we talked about earlier the resolve check for, I think it was the anchorite for Eric. See, resolve is under willpower. So if you don't have any points in resolve, then you have to roll under your straight willpower. Whereas if you buy skill advances in resolve, I think the anchorite has 1. Maybe. Yeah, they have 1. So if you get it at character creation, then, well, you know, you already start with a plus 10% in resolve.
Where is that listed? Because I don't see that under my profession.
It's
I'm on page 81, looking at anchor right underneath Sacred Mantra. and
Yeah,
I don't see
right under Sacred Mantra, there should be a table. Isn't it there?
coordination, folklore, handle animal, heal, resolve.
Yeah, those are the ones.
Nice. Right. And
So-
so, is that resolve that would give me that?
Yeah.
Or okay.
These
okay, I was
all the
confused.
ones that you see on the left column, so all the ones called skill ranks. Wow.
Yeah.
My English is going out the window tonight. Those are all skills basically. So
Right,
with
okay,
the XP you have, each one of them you can buy them once with 100 XP. And when you
Got
do,
it.
it gives you a plus 10% bonus to that skill. Sort of like
Okay.
having a proficiency modifier in D&D. Like you become proficient with them,
Yeah.
so you get a plus 10 automatically.
Right. But I can't once I've selected it once, I can't select it again.
No,
right?
that's it. So in order to max out a skill, like to have all three circles darkened, you need to have gone through 3 different careers that would give you access to that skill.
Check. Okay, cool. Sorry, I was just thinking about it because I've played Warhammer before, and so I was looking for like the willpower advanced ones and stuff like that. But I guess that this game doesn't have that.
No,
It's-
actually, they boost the bonus and not the straight stat.
yeah. Okay.
So whereas in Warhammer you could boost your
Yeah.
stat, and then the
Yeah.
bonus would always depend on the stat. In this case, the stat stays the same. You rolled it once, that's what you have. So you rolled, let's say, 35 for willpower. You have 35 in willpower. But you can
Yeah.
boost your willpower bonus, which is going to be used in pretty much every instance from now on. And then the 35 becomes the base chance for the incantation, interrogation, resolve, and tradecraft skills.
Yeah. Perfect.
So you can buy those advances. You can do that. We'll do that offline. And
Yeah.
just let me know, and I'll go on Roll20. I'll check the sheet once it's done. Just so we can move on to more interesting stuff than just doing math for a while. But out of curiosity, how much XP does each of you have?
I total level 100.
1100?
1400.
Yeah, you're
1300.
sorry, Eric. And,
Last one.
yeah, I didn't hear Eric and Kat. I'm sorry.
I have
Cat.
1200.
1200?
Yep. I have 1300 to spend.
Cool. So you're all at varying degrees. It basically takes 2000 XP to complete the first career. So maybe by the third, fourth game, you guys will be almost done. And then moving on to your other,
How do you get XP?
by playing. So by simply taking part in the game, you gain a certain amount of XP. And then the rest, it depends on, in my case, I normally hand out XP in how you, have you progressed any quest, any storylines, anything within the game. If you guys have learned something crucial about something you were pursuing, then it counts as XP. I never, especially in grimdark games like Zweihander, I never give out XP for combat. So fight at your own risks. The only reward you can get are, roleplay rewards. If you defeat an amazing opponent, you might get the loot, you might get the physical rewards, you might even have some sort of prestige, but not XP.
Got it. Okay.
Is that cool with you guys?
Yep.
And of course, we're living in a very dangerous world. There will probably be some form of combat.
Really?
Yeah. So right before we go into talking about what we think our characters could be, what we'd like to have from the game and everything, we'll just take a short, quick break. And we'll be back here, guys, in about 10-ish minutes. So talk to you in a couple minutes. Ciao.
Bye. Bye. Hey.
So, we are almost done going through character creation. Let's just check. I thought I saw that you guys had a bit more trappings to start with. But I am not 100% sure. Because you got your trappings from earlier. That's your name, and then building your profession. Of course, you guys are gonna have to choose a name.
Ugh.
Not necessarily tonight. You don't necessarily have to have one tonight. But I mean, if you do, hey, all the better. Just send it to me before the next campaign, the next session, so I know.
As knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
True American hero.
So yeah, trappings. Well, aside what you got in the starting trappings, I think you guys only have that, and then you can just buy whatever you need with whatever money you have on you.
I don't have a last name yet, but my name's going to be Parya, P-A-R-Y-A.
P-R-Y-A. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't know the rest of it.
So stats for weapons, we can do that later. I know most of you have started with some sort of weapon, be it a farming implement or maybe something a bit more sturdy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, money-wise, yeah.
We ain't got scrap.
I think only Kat can buy stuff for herself. I mean, can buy a weapon for herself, or probably even maybe a piece of armor. But why would a servant be walking around with armor?
Yeah.
I wonder.
I'm the book's downloading, so I'll be able to look at the weapons
Sure.
later.
And if there is some more additional trappings, we can always check that out. I can take a second look at the book to make sure that I don't spend, the next 15 minutes just going through the pages. So, the game has no starting point yet. I have a few loose threads to weave a story with, but I want to introduce your characters to. I want the game to be weaved around whatever characters we're going to introduce to the game, and in order to do that, I would like to know, kind of, and let's just brainstorm together. What did you have in mind for your character? Who were you before whatever it is that, events that are going to kick off the game? Who were you before? What did you do? The way they explain it a bit in Zweihander is that the career that you have right now, the profession that you're into, is the one you're leaving. So the next one that you choose will actually be the one that, your character wanted to become. And this one, the current one, is just something that, you did before the game started. So you can still be, you can still be a reeve, you can still be a jailer, a servant, or whatever, but your character is, like, nearing the end of that career path. And they're slowly moving on, transitioning into something else. But before the game, back when you were tiny little level 1, whatever profession you have, who were you? Where do you come from? Do you guys already know each other? Do you want to already know each other, or do you want the introductions to be made in game?
I would like to already know each other at some point. I just don't know what it's going to look like.
I think it's a good idea for us to start knowing each other. At least that's something that can be out of the way. It can be a hurdle sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, because we were talking about this off of just on our break, that me and Alex know each other because I'm the Reeve and he's a jailer.
Okay.
So that makes sense. And I was thinking the way to get Eric's character involved, and obviously you can disagree with this and change it. But since like I am like the judge, jury, and like an executioner, that maybe you're there to give them like any kind of last rites.
Yeah, I could totally be working with the church that way. I definitely think that I was like a refugee, not from the Vale originally.
Okay. So either from the Ashlands or
Yeah.
because the ogres came from, well, a while
Yeah.
ago. But yeah, so you used to live in the southern areas of this non-existent map, and then had to move up.
Mm-hmm.
You witnessed some pretty bad stuff. Post-apocalyptic is certainly the word for it. For what the Ashlands are called the Ashlands now, because that's practically the only thing that there is. It's just everything is covered in ash, as if, a nuclear bomb went off and just incinerated everything. And creatures made of ash and fire and smoke wander the waste. And some other creatures are still alive, still kicking among the ruins. Mutants, certainly part of that. And even from time to time, marauding band of orcs and goblins who seem to be immune to whatever other monsters prowl those, like the Ashlands, those wastes. And of course, from time to time, you have the random party of adventurers or exiles or whatever that try to stake a claim into the Ashlands and either try to make a living out there or just loot and plunder and come back. But yeah, sure. So we already have a sort of starting point where, so far, the way I see it is there should be a prisoner awaiting an execution. And that's how 3 of the characters would be linked to one another. Kat, how about you?
Well, during the break, we talked about how I might be that maybe prisoner suspect of something that happened to the family I work for.
Oh, okay. So something would have happened to a family that is in a certain standing socially.
Yep.
You were the prime suspect, and your head's about to go on the block. Is that it?
Yeah, that could. Like, we were talking like prime suspect, but maybe I somehow.
Protection, yeah.
Okay, so like they would have
yeah.
found a way to exonerate you because they found like some damning evidence of something else.
Fun twist, if you're into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your sister.
I'm fine with it.
All right.
How many female do we have?
All of the humans.
And I can't get with any of you.
Damn.
I mean,
okay,
you can. It's just DNA is not compatible.
Your
no,
child.
he doesn't have any.
Don't work.
Oh God, that's true. You're a eunuch.
I'm a eunuch, yeah.
I forgot about that. So yep, they're feminine's
Kicked cat in the
wiles.
butt,
that work
didn't
on
you?
Yep. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so 2 sisters. Something that happened. I already have an idea. All right, and what do you expect out of the game as players? What would you like to put your characters through? What hurdles you want me to throw at you in the sense of more thematically than just the nitty gritty of it? But what were you expecting of a Zweihander game?
I just like hurdles in general.
Cultist. That's what I was thinking.
Cultists, all right.
That's a really good question. How messed up is the world? Like, is like making the world better out of the question?
No, never. It is hard because there's this prevalent feeling of doom from anyone. You live in a world where you know that it's just a question of time. Though it's been like that for hundreds of years. It's always been a question of time. It's like we're 1 minute till midnight on the doomsday clock, and it's always like that. But it's possible to change it. Maybe not in a worldwide manner, but at least in a region, in a town, even more than a town, like even in a kingdom, like things can go for the better. But the only people that could actually change things for the better would be the players.
Sure.
Because
okay.
you're special, you're fated, you have this spark that basically means you're a player. But that would also mean that you'd be able to, if you try to set forth and change the world, make it a better place, that doesn't mean that the means you're going to use are necessarily going to be the most lawful good of means. But you know, if that's what you want to go for, I can certainly include plenty of opportunities to try to make the world a better place, and either fail at doing so or succeed.
Yeah, I would like something a little bit bigger scale than usual.
Than a
but
local
I'm cool
adventure?
with I'm cool with being that. If that isn't what if that's too hard to fit into this bucket of things we want to do, I totally understand. It's not going to be like a deal breaker.
I'll try to mix in everything that you guys want to do, and if there's anything, I'll let you know. But so far, we want something that's far-ranging, world-shaking events, or at least world-altering events. Begin with... Okay, so I think I know where we'll start the game. In a... let me check. I can give you the name of that town. Where is it?
I think I would like, as I always be like, is there some good kind of political intrigue, some good scheming, some good plots, you know, rather than it just being like a monster or attack or brigands and things like that, but like, you know, there's some high political intrigue. Could always be interesting as well, you know, where it's more than just your combat. It tests like it comes through RP as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
a more social.
Yep.
Like kind of like social dynamic, like puzzles and mystery and clues and stuff.
Oh, I think.
I agree. I like those too.
Same.
All right. Then I think I'll start you guys in a town called Lowvinter. Put it in chat here. Lowvinter. Yeah. Which is not so far from another big city called Winter Haven.
Discord as well.
So it used to be called High Winter, and then there's Lowvinter. Because peasants tend to change the naming conventions and the pronunciations of things because they're uneducated and dirty.
We are indeed dirty.
Yeah, you are. And, yeah, so Lowvinter is ruled by a person called... Yes, his title is the Baron of Lowvinter, but he has a name. Where is it? Lord Diedrich, Baron of Lowvinter. Lord Diedrich, Baron of Lowvinter. And there's a few events that will have transpired before the start of the game. And let's just say that aside from whatever, so I'm gonna cook up something about that event that happened with your family, or if you want to help me build it up, and then I think we'll start the game in media res at the next session, where you guys are either pursuing or arresting the person that is responsible, and then their ensuing trials. So Diedrich Lowvinter has lost his only son a few months ago during the winter, and the Baron is struck with grief, and things look bleak in Lowvinter. As the days have progressed recently as the time went on. The Baron had many a visitor come to his estate to try to cheer him up at the request of his wife, Helene. Lady Elaine. Whoops. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Lady Elaine, like this. I posted them on the Twitch chat just because my Roll20 isn't up at the moment. But another thing that has begun happening is that people in town have started, as the Baron becomes increasingly more shut in, the people of town, they basically do what they want. Josh, you would be the only actual representative of the law, but the only one trying to hold the town together. Crime is on the rise, especially kidnappings. There are quite a few mercenaries that have passed into town trying to find job. At first, it was more honest type of mercs, and then the more time goes on, the more they look like a bit more like racketeers than actual mercenaries or soldiers of fortunes. Here to just, abuse of the situation, since the Baron and actually his personal guards and his whatever tiny standing army he has, haven't come out of the estate's grounds since, the spring melts. So I was thinking maybe the person that you guys were looking for could be maybe a robber who stole a lot from the family that Cat you worked for. Oh, 2 seconds. Hey! No fighting! Jesus Christ. Yes, they are. I don't know if you can hear them, but it's savage. There's hair flying all over the place. And my girlfriend is in there to keep them from fighting each other.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was thinking maybe a robbery, or I don't know, someone made away with the contents of the coffers of whatever it is that family did, or maybe murder. I know murder is like a classic, murder mystery, trying to find a culprit. We could go with that.
But a robbery would make sense, because I was thinking of maybe like being the high servant, like the servant in chief, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have all the keys. I'd have access to everything in every room. So I could very well be the prime suspect for a robbery or something. Disappearance of something.
Did you have an idea what type of family you would work for?
No.
I wouldn't think the Baron himself, but I would think someone rich enough to pay a servant in shillings instead of brass pennies. Which means that you're still well placed.
I've just been saving for a long time.
Or you could have been saving your pennies for a long time. True. Have a question for both Eric and Kat and two sisters. How long have you seen each other? When was the last time you've seen each other?
It's been a minute. For sure.
I'm gonna need help translating that, because I don't know if it means it's
been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah. A minute is a lot longer than a hot second.
Okay. I'll remember.
A lot longer. So would she recognize you?
Oh, I think yeah. I think we.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Would you say, Eric, that you came back recently? Do you want to start the game as you're coming back, or?
I think I came. I think I came in because of the trial and stuff.
Okay, cool.
That I knew that I came here, and I think maybe I was looking for you, and then I heard about this thing, and I knew it, and so my religion told me it was to be you, and so I found you, and maybe that's where we're at.
Okay, yeah. And then I'll need a few things from Josh and Alex. How hard was it to catch that person?
Katerina?
Whoever, well, not Catherine, but the person that is actually responsible. So the one that or maybe you haven't caught up to them yet. What would you rather? Do you want the beginning of the first game to start like as you're pursuing this person, or do you want to already have them in custody? Because
I'd say we do not have them in custody, but we're gonna chase them. We're gonna be actively maybe looking
chasing
for them, or actively like on their heels.
Yeah, like we found out that the real culprits, and now it's just kind of like weeding them out in the city.
All right. So basically, the town bailiff would have sent word to you, Eric, in advance. So thinking and assuming that both the Reeve and the jailer would find and apprehend the suspect before you had time to come to Lowvinter. Mind you, you got to Lowvinter and that person wasn't caught yet. And I think, yeah, okay. So I got enough information. I think I have enough stuff from you guys to at least start prepping. Because we're not playing tonight, that's for sure. So tonight's episode might be slightly shorter than usual. But at least I have enough information. And I think you guys are gonna like what's gonna happen. So we said political intrigue, something that has far-reaching consequences, maybe something that affects or alter the world, and something more social. And we wanted, aside from that, you guys all know each other through either family bonds between Eric and Kat, or let's call them workplace relationships, professional relationships between Alex and Josh. And the two groups interact with one another through actually just a simple twist of fate. Are you good with that?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'll get right on it. And in 2 weeks' time, on May 23rd, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll officially launch the MistVeil campaign.
Woohoo!
You guys excited
Yep.
Heck yes.
Yeah, for my character, yes.
for your tiny gnome? So we'll just do outros. So we'll finish a bit early. Normally we would finish at around 11 o'clock Eastern, because Josh, the sun is about to rise, and it's not cool. I'll let you have like an extra like 45 minutes of sleep tonight. But let's just go around once more. Tell us who you are, what you have going on, what you do, and where we can find you. And this time I'll start with the person I ended with the intro. So Eric.
Yeah, hey everybody. I'm Eric. You can find me at Eric Vulgaris on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Yeah, this is super fun. I love my character. I've been photoshopping, getting a portrait ready for my character this whole time right now. So I'm super into this. I'm ready. I love my punk mystic. I'm all about it.
Cool. And let's go with Kat.
Yep. So I'm Catherine. I'm not super active on Twitter, and I'm not super active in the role-playing community, but
Yeah.
I'm active in the knitting community. And you can find me on Twitter at CAATHX and Instagram at Encephaloscope. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be really cool.
Nice. Josh. Where can we find you?
Yeah, hey, I am Pro Restarter. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, or the same name. Literally just Google me. You can find me on my channel where we stream RPG stuff about 6 days a week. Check out my Twitter when I'm streaming, in case I have to cancel, when I'm going with these other people in the community. You can catch me on Friday. I believe it is my time, 7 GMT. I'll be playing with Grimjack 21502, and also with Eric. We'll be playing some Firefly. It's going to be great as well.
Oh, you guys are in the Firefly game. Nice.
That was fun.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And, yeah, look forward to seeing this next time.
Mm-hmm. And Alex?
Hello. You may reach me on the Twitterverse at The Gambit, where I usually shitpost about pretty much or comes through my mind. And you can catch up with me next Tuesday for the adventure of a very wholesome mercenary in the Star Wars game that Simon here is GMing.
Yes, that's true. It's next Tuesday.
Yes. Are you ready?
Oh yes, I've been ready for a while, guys. I've been ready for a while.
Okay, so my plan of killing the Jedi's are in
Coming to fruition.
semi-red. Good.
And as I said before, my name is Simon at wandering_DM on Twitch, Twitter. Woof. On Twitch, I mean, you're watching this, so you know where my channel is. We'll also put this video up. I'll try to put it up on the YouTube this weekend, and I'll tweet everybody about it. Otherwise, you can catch me on this very channel every other Tuesday. So next Tuesday, actually, on May the 14th, 15th, sorry. DMing Star Wars Points of Light, which is like a grimdark version of Star Wars in the darkest timeline. With these two lovely people, Josh and Alex. You can find me as well on Off the Table from time to time, either on the Thursday Off the Table talk show. I sometimes DM one-shots. I know Josh is playing in a bunch of games this season. I think, Eric, you're in a couple of them too, right? On Off the Table?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
And yeah, so otherwise there will also be a roll call open soon, probably in, I don't know, a week or two. I'm hoping to get everything ready for a D&D 5e campaign in my homebrewed setting that I've worked on for the past like 4 years.
Nice.
So finally
really
unveiling
cool.
everything. Yeah, Kath has tried it. Kath has played in it 2 campaigns so far. She's been playtesting it, or like 2 parts of a different campaign. And yeah, so it's going to be like a West March type of hex crawler game in this very interesting setting. So I'll be looking forward to anybody who wants to play, even if it's just one time. So thanks everyone for being here. See you again in 2 weeks when we kick off MistVeil officially. And thank you all for watching. Ciao.
Yeah. Bye.